Hi, this is Norman Kochnek here for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnek. I'm actually on Coogee Bay Road in Coogee, but I'm actually speaking to someone very, very far away. In fact, it's a magnificent man, a singer-songwriter who's coined some of the most amazing songs, specifically about, well, history, cricket history, and about an Aboriginal team back in 1868. One song titled 1868. Now, this is Matt Scullion, and Matt is actually now currently in... How are you, Matt?
So I'm really Matt good, mate. How are you?
So Matt's there. He's sitting there in amongst a lot of people. He's actually at what they call the annual John Mullagh Championship Cup. Now, I'll let Matt talk more about Johnny Mullagh in a minute. Johnny Mullagh, of course, became quite famous, I should say, back in the 1868 period when he actually was a representative for the Aboriginal team that left the Australian shores for the first time representing Australia against England. And Johnny Mullagh has also now been given a Johnny Mullagh medal, which relates to a Boxing Day's test match, which again, I'll let Matt talk more about. He's actually at the so-called annual Johnny Mullagh Championship Cup held today on the 7th of March in a place called Harrow. Harrow is actually in Western Victoria, in obviously Australia. The match is of great significance, and I hope you will enjoy it. Clearly, it's going to be a very interesting day, but I'm particularly excited to have Matt on board. He's good friends with a number of people that I know, like Len Pascoe, former Australian cricketer, Jeff Thompson, Doug Walters, a whole bunch of people. And Matt has been fantastic in his songwriting, exceptional songs. And he's actually got a bit of a surprise for us. So I believe he may well have the Johnny Mullagh medal with him. So over to you, Matt. It's your turn to talk about where you are, what you've got in front of you, etc., etc. Welcome too, by the way.
G'day, Norman. How are you, mate?
Very well indeed. Very, very well.
Might have the service here, Norman. You there, mate?
I'm there. I'm certainly there.
Okay, great, mate. We had a bit of a problem with the service there, so I'm just trying to get us back on. Anyway, yes, mate. I'm in a little town called Harrow, which is in Western Victoria, and that's the hometown of Johnny Mullagh himself, and pretty much where the 1868 story was born, sort of came from, mate. And yeah, mate, it's a great honour to be here, and it's a great honour to be able to have. As I always say, I'm not the first person to tell this story, but I'm the first person to sing it, and it's a great honour to be able to do that, and it's an even a bigger honour to be here for the Johnny Mullagh Cup. I've been trying to get over here for the last 6 months, but due to COVID and all that, I haven't been able to. So to come over here with my wife this weekend and to be here for the cricket game, but to also be able to sing tonight, and I'll be singing the 1868 song tonight, so that'll be fantastic.
Fantastic. So tell us more about what songs you're singing.
Okay, so obviously tonight I'm going to be singing the song I wrote 1868. I'll probably do that a few times tonight, I'd say. But I'll also, I'm an Australiana singer, Norman. So I write and I sing. I sing and I write songs about this beautiful country, Australia, and the characters that live in it. The beautiful places that got some of the funny things. There's always hidden stories. Like 1868, there's a lot. I sing a lot of stories about, stories that people have. I mean, people have heard, but the majority of people haven't heard. So I always sing those songs, and I do a few classics too, a few songs that people know. Just have a fun night.
So, Matt, just be careful to stay in shot because it's an unusual screen. Be in front of the actual camera itself.
Yeah, mate. It's breaking up. The connection is lagging really badly, and it keeps pixelating and breaking up.
Okay, so Matt, so tell us more about your relationship to Len Pascoe and those people.
Okay, Lenny. I met Len probably about 15 years ago, and he was doing one of his shows. He had Doug Walters and Brett Lee. He was doing a cricket night, and I hadn't known Len, but I got booked to go down and be the entertainment one night at one of those shows. It was in Southwest, not Southwest Rocks, Crescent Head in New South Wales, and so anyway, I went down there and I met Len then. And ever since then, I've been a great friend of Len, and Len's booked me a few shows here and there. And Len was the actual one that told me this story. I hadn't heard this story before, and he told me the 1868 story, and it just blew me away when he told me this story, and I knew that I had to write a song about it. So I owe this song to Len.
Okay. I mean, can you hear me? No, I just lost you there for a second. The important thing for me, the importance of today to me is the Johnny Mullagh Cup, the history of cricket. I don't think most of our Indian viewers, which are on air, actually realise the significance of the fact that the very first touring team from Australia was an Aboriginal team. Prior to any professionals or even amateur Australian side went across, that they played the first series. They played a commendable amount of games. In fact, they played a record number of games and a record number of days, didn't they? Tell us about that.
Yes, they did, mate. And I'm sorry, a helicopter's about to come over, so it's going to be. I hope you can still hear me. But yeah, mate, back in 1868. Just wait till this helicopter goes over, mate. 1 second. Sorry, everybody. Time here today.
That's all right.
1 second.
That's fine. What it is, are we going to? So you're going to be playing a song after the match. What is the present situation in the match? Is there a score that you can relay to us?
Yeah, so mate, sorry. As I was saying, I couldn't hear you before because of the helicopter going over. But what I was going to say is, back in 1868, before they even had the baggy green, before Australian cricket had toured anywhere, actually before there was an Australian team, so to speak, they put together an 11-man cricket side, and they sent them over to England to play 47 matches, and that was in 1868. Now the side was an all-Indigenous side, and so it was an amazing feat. They spent months and months on a boat going over to England, and they won 14 of those matches and drew 19 of those matches, which is an amazing feat, even for today's standards. So they went over there, and Johnny Mullagh was the standout player. He was the all-rounder. I can't tell you his figures at the moment, but I know it was amazing figures that he had: batting figures, bowling figures, and even wicket-keeping figures. I think he even took 4 wickets as a wicket-keeper. Amazing figures. So that was, as I said, that was about 5 years before the baggy green was even came into play. And all Indigenous side sailed to England and did us proud, and then came back and pretty well disappeared into obscurity. It's a real triumphant story, but it's a sad story at the same time.
It's an amazing story. Are you able to hear me?
I am. I can. Yes.
Can you hear me? Yep. All right. So you have a lady with you who has a certain very impressive medal. Can you bring her over? In fact, can you ask her questions for me? Because she may not hear me. So you can ask the questions and she can answer them for you. Introduce her for me, and I'm very excited about seeing this medal. It's quite a privileged thing to be able to see. We only would have seen that at the game on the day at the Boxing Day last year. So for you to show it to us now is amazing.
Mate, I'll go and get her, and what I'll also do, just for your viewers at home, a bit of a look, if you like, or to come around, a bit of a look at the game going, if you like. Would you like that?
Yes.
I'll do that now, and I'll grab Josie. 1 second. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so I've got what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to. Come over here, Josie, where we can hear. Have you got the? It's not as. We'll go over. Yeah, we'll go over here. So anyway, I want to introduce you to a lady called Josie Sangster. Now Josie runs here in Harrow. There's a museum, a cricket museum, and it's
Wow.
It's dedicated to that 1868 side, and it's also dedicated to Johnny Mullagh. Now Josie's the would you say the curator or the what would you say, Josie?
I answer to many things, but I just generally say manager.
Josie's the manager of that centre, and she's a huge promoter of this side, and she does a lot of hard work to get this story out. And recently, this last Boxing Day gone, there was for the man of the match medal between Australia and India.
Yeah.
There was a medal given out, the man of the match, and it's now been named the Johnny Mullagh medal. And I believe an Indian player won that, and the Johnny Mullagh medal is now back in India.
Jinka Rahane
won that, and which is a fantastic thing. Now they know about the Johnny Mullagh medal. So I want to introduce you to Josie Sangster, and she's got something special too. She's actually got next Boxing Day's Johnny Mullagh medal with her. So they have Cricket Australia.
Absolutely.
Cricket Australia have entrusted her and entrusted the Harrow Discovery Centre with displaying that medal for the next 12 months and give it away to the next man of the match. So Norman, I'll hand you over to Josie. I'll just do that.
Excellent. Hello there. Hi, this is Norman Kochk. I'm just moving myself to a quieter spot. Hang on a sec.
Same.
Won't be 2 seconds. Hello,
Hi, Norman.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I will.
We had some horrible volume problems where I was, so I'm here now. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. All right, I've got it.
I got hold of it.
So I'll adjust.
How's that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I'm very honoured to be able to talk to you about. Very honoured to be able to talk to you about what you have, the Johnny Mullagh medal. It's an amazingly significant piece of or a memory for both Australian cricket, Aboriginal cricket, and the world. And the one that. So tell me more about what you've got in your hands.
Okay, so right here, if I can align.
Yeah, that's it. That's better.
We have the 2021 Mullagh medal. Now, this medal was introduced. I'll just put it down because it's on a bit of an angle. This medal was introduced last year in 2020 to honour the story of Johnny Mullagh in the first 11 and the trailblazing that they did 153 years ago. They were all from this country. In fact, if you can see behind me, you'll see the Johnny Mullagh Oval. Johnny Mullagh played on this oval all those years ago. And it was this country that they left from to go to England to represent their country, the first team to ever represent their country abroad. So Johnny Mullagh, Unaraman, we try to refer to him as much as possible. Unaraman was the star all-rounder of that side. In fact, W.G. Grace didn't want him to come home, wanted him to stay in England so that he could play over there for his club. So 26 years ago, the people of Harrow, that we commemorate this story and honour the story of Johnny Mullagh and the first 11 by introducing this commemorative match held on the long weekend of March every year. So Cricket Australia, we have great relationship with Cricket Australia, and when the Johnny Mullagh and the first 11 actually, before they went to England, they left this country to go to Melbourne with Tom Wills, actually, who was more famous for inventing or forming the rules of a game that we now know as AFL football. Left Eden Hope just down the road and went to Melbourne. And the first game that they could get a match, the first day that they could get a match to play on when they got to Melbourne was Boxing Day, December 26, 1866, because purely because the ground wasn't booked that day, and that ground was the MCG. So they played their first game off this country in the big smoke, as we would say, on Boxing Day. So Cricket Australia have realised the story, the national significance, both historically and culturally, of this story, and introduced the Mullagh Medal to be awarded to the best player of the boxing, any Boxing Day Test match from now on. So the inaugural medal went to Rajinka Rahane after their match in at the G this year. Well deserved, and we were delighted for it to go back to India, in fact, because we knew how many Indian fans would be very happy with that. This year, this 2021 medal will be awarded to, I'm just getting the site in, this will be awarded to, yeah, that's wonderful, somebody from the Ashes match at the G. How's that?
Mhm.
That's absolutely fantastic. Can you hear me now?
I can. I'm sorry, I didn't before, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry for
If it-
bad
Can
coordination.
can you actually just lift it up a little bit more, if it's possible, so we can see the medal itself?
Let me get it in.
Amazing.
I'm sorry for
and so that,
I'm a bit unco. So
that's all right.
I'll just get the light. There we go. There we go.
So that's a picture of the team, isn't it?
Okay, so the story with well done, Matt. So the story with it is in the second half of the 1800s, like 50s, 60s, cricket buckles were made to keep the strides up, basically, of cricketers back in the day. So a lot of buckles were crafted that were on like hessian or maybe elastic later, but there are actually a lot of medals.
Wait for the toilets. There we go.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there were a lot of cricket buckles made back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s that would hold cricket strides up. A lot of people dig them up prospecting and find them. We've actually had a few donated, but there was one very special one made, and called the Aboriginals, and it was made for the first 11 in Birmingham, November 1868, when they were over there. So there was a buckle made for this Aboriginal. So it says the Aboriginals, and there's it's anyway. What I'm getting to is a couple of years ago at the centre, a fellow from far north Queensland rang and said, I've just uncovered a buckle, and I believe you might know something about it. He sent me a photo. And I said, you've got quite a find there. The last buckle that was found, it was sold to Lords of London at an auction house in England, and it went for £3,200, and that was quite a while ago. Anyway, I was talking to my connection, friend at Cricket Australia. I said, I've had this extraordinary phone call. This fellow has uncovered a buckle in far north Queensland. Heavens knows how it got up there, but it is, we dated it, and it was indeed one of the Aboriginals is on the front. Cricket buckle. And so Adam Cassidy from Cricket Australia thought that would be great inspiration for the Mullagh medal. Anyway, consulting with the descendants of the team, it was decided that the metal part around the edge, if you can remember me showing it to descent, is identical to the wreath that was around the edge of the cricket buckle. But it was decided to represent the whole team with a photograph of the team in the middle. So that's how that came out. And the banner, I might get it out again actually, just so after that explanation you can see what I'm saying. So the wreath around the outside is identical to the cricket buckle, and the banner down the bottom where it says the Mullagh medal is where it said the Aboriginals. So that is the inspiration. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get.
Absolutely,
We're
not very good
absolutely amazing.
because we're upside down.
There.
I'm upside down
So
here,
if
Norman.
you can
That's all right.
see the opposite, there you go, and I'll move it in there.
Fantastic.
So there's that laurel wreath design around there, and then a photograph of the team in Swansea in the UK. And we actually, as we speak, have a descendant of Dick, who's part of that team here tonight, who will be conducting a smoking ceremony, welcoming Matt and the song and the Mullagh medal and everybody else here on country.
Oh, what a privileged day. If I had any knowledge of it, I would have made my way down to be there. It would have been a magnificent day to be a part of.
We'll be here next year, and I reckon there's a special spot in the marquee over there with your name on it, on the back of a chair.
Well, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be broadcasting back to a whole range of people. We're very privileged on this show to have the likes of a Jeff Thompson, a Len Pascoe, a Doug Walters coming on, a lot of the more modern day players as well, and they would adore this story. This would be, bring them down.
Yeah, my hero.
I'm sure that I'm sure
Yeah.
Len, Doug, and Jeff would love just the trek down to that Harrow, the location itself. They would love to travel down there. I'm pretty sure they would, and I'm sure we can make this an annual pilgrimage down there. And the Indian viewers that we have on the show absolutely adore history of cricket, and this is something that most people would not have any idea about. And it's magnificent for you to share what you've shared with us today. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm very honoured to see the medal and be able to understand what's going on and how you're celebrating it today. Magnificent. I've got a bit of a volume problem.
To Johnny Mullagh.
We can hear you.
A year after his death. So that's not too bad for 1892 for an Aboriginal person to be applauded and recognised like he was. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for having us.
And I hate to do this,
No,
Norman,
much
but
appreciated. Thanks.
I've got to go on shortly. And it's really, I apologise for the bad reception, but there's helicopters flying over, and it's just not. It's probably not the best place to conduct an interview on a phone. So I really apologise for that.
Yeah, but it's real.
It's real, exactly.
It's real.
No, do you want me to tell you the truth? I absolutely love the way we're doing it. This is the way it should be. We shouldn't be in some fancy studio. We need to be right there, experiencing what you're experiencing. And I feel like I'm there.
Well, mate, no worries. Well, listen, it's great. It's great chatting to you, Norman. We're going to have to go because I've got to go on stage shortly and sing this amazing song.
And we've got awards to present. Johnny Mullagh winners.
And we've got to they've got to present the awards to the man of the match and the winning cricket side.
Well, I appreciate your time, Matt. I'm going to play your records. We're going to see this. We're going to come there next year. We want to invite. I'll bring Jeff, Len, Doug with us all to the spot.
Well, hopefully I'll be back
thanks,
next
guys.
year too. So that'll be great.
Don't behave yourself.
All right, Norman.
Thank you very much.
We've got to fly.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So that was wonderful, guys. That was Matt Scullion there in Harrow in Western Victoria and Australia, there at the annual Johnny Mullagh Championship Cup. And he's about to award the winning team and more so sing a song, the 1868 song, which he songwrote and produced and sings beautifully. I'll send you the links to his songs and we'll get a hold of it. Thanks to Len Pascoe for this day. Len Pascoe, former Australian cricketer, has hooked me up to Matt. Great. Thank you very much, Len. Likes of Doug Walters and Jeff Thompson. We've all got to go. All you three, we've got to go with me down to Harrow next year for the annual match and award the prize and have a great day. Okay, this is Norman Kochnick here, signing off for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. make sure you do the usual view, like, and share. And the special delivery of the Johnny Mullagh, or the Mullagh medal, I should say, which was taken by Ajinkya Rahane. He won the inaugural Mullagh medal on the Boxing Day test, which India won that match. And it was like Rahane, who scored a century and did very well in that match. He got the man of the match. So that particular medal issued to an Indian player on that day is very historic. You've heard all about it now. So Norman Koshnick here from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Koshnick. Stay tuned for more, guys. See you later. Bye.